Smells like burnt flesh in here.
Hmm. Maybe I should get branded. I don't mind me a little punishment.
That the jingle of coin I hear? You've timed it well, my friend. Already turned quite the profit today, so I'm feeling generous.
Fantastic. Lots of stuff here. Heavy armor. Chainmail. Chain shirt. And that, I assume, is medium? Ah, there we go. Finally, something that's not, that's light armor. And now, again, sort by weight for me. Yeah, I suppose I could send some of this back to my camp. Oh yeah, I ought to give that to Shadowheart. Oh, there's Gale's hand. Okay, I did eat his hand. Let's see here then. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a lot on me. I'm just like a light guy. Here, I have all this bottled stuff. A nut buster? I'm keeping nut buster. Are you kidding me? Hey, you sell that. Yeah. These books go for a decent amount. I might just have to sell them. So, what if we sort by value, huh? What's my most valuable stuff? I can sell that. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Alright. Let's see what I'm giving to who. As for me. Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty good. And then, I would like to dye that. Where's some dye that I have? Haha. Looking quite nice. What about my gloves? Where are my gloves of missile catching? Gloves. Wasn't expecting them to look like that necessarily, but hey, that's fine. Yeah, let's also change up my boots while I'm here. Maybe. Well, wrong person. Shadowheart, you go ahead and take these boots. And yeah.
Alright, what now?
Fair enough. What now indeed? I'm not quite sure myself. Yeah, I think, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get a brand from Priestess Glut. But before that, I'm gonna fill my gut with food or drink or something. Heyo, can I be real with you right now? I have been away. I have gone into another realm. A different place, you know? My sweet escape, my secret space, whatever you want to call it. I have gone there and I have returned.
I ain't never felt so strong.
Well, that's great, pal. But I'm trying to talk over here. Alright? But yeah, no. I left as I said, to more than likely go fill myself up with something. And I filled myself up with some, just some delicious chicken tenders, you know? You might say, wow, a 23-year-old man eating, like, chicken tenders. But, I will say, you know, they're frozen. They're frozen food. You know, I don't look down on anyone for buying frozen food. Sometimes you don't want to cook. Sometimes it's convenient to just have a frozen thing to eat that you know is going to be good. And these chicken tenders, they're good. They're like premium chicken tenders, man. They're just so phenomenal and so fantastic. Like, I didn't even cook them for, well, no, I did. I cooked them for as long as I needed to. But you know, I maybe popped them out a minute or two early because I wanted to get at them because they're so good. They're delectable, you know? And it's like, oh, I don't know, man. You know, like it's nice eating something like salmon or just something nice, but like, I'll be honest. I don't know how you feel, but my go-to when I'm drunk and I'm like feeling particularly hungry, I'm feeling kind of ravenous, is just like over easy eggs. I don't know why. You know, like sometimes I'll have like an over easy egg or two for breakfast in the morning. But sometimes I won't, and then I'll get drunk one day, and then I'll just have like four of them. I'll be honest, I think I had five. I had a lot. No, I had four. All right, I had four. Let's not go overboard here. But I had four, just like over easy eggs. One of them cracked, so it wasn't really over easy, but still, uh, you know, like the yolk cracked. But I don't know why. When I get drunk, I'm just like egg. I think it's because it's something easy to make where I'm just like, I'm drunk and I don't want to do anything complicated. And plus, like, this is easy. And it's something I get to throw some hot sauce on. And me, I'm a big fan of Pete's hot sauce. All right. I like Pete's hot sauce. Might not be for you, but for me, it gives me exactly what I need. Like that is the hot sauce I put on my damn eggs. You know, some people might enjoy Frank's hot sauce. Some people might enjoy, you know, whatever brand you like. I could maybe think of another one if I wasn't out of my damn mind right now. But yeah, you know, it's just like a lovely little treat. But like these chicken tenders, like sometimes when you're eating some like not okay chicken or just like, you know, just some mediocre chicken, you're like, oh, I gotta spice this up. I gotta like, you know, add some hot sauce on here or like something just to make it more interesting, you know. And these, no, you don't need to do that. In fact, I feel you would do yourself a disservice if you did that because it's just pure. It's pure and it's nice and it's gonna kill me more likely than not, but I'll die a happy man. Uh, but yeah, no, I just had those. Even though I'll be honest, what was the better choice? Because I could either have that or I could have some leftover pizza that I had in my fridge. What's the better option? You know, having like 4 or 5 chicken tenders. Like one of them was pretty small, so I don't even know if that one counts. But you know, let's say 5. 5 like nice, clean, beautiful, just delectable. Can you guys shut the fuck up? I'm talking over here. Anyway, as I was saying, you know, you just have like a really nice, delectable, just delicious, beautiful, wondrous bit of chicken. Or, you know, I could have some pizza. I mean, it's good pizza, pepperoni pizza. But you know, it's pizza. I had some yesterday. You know, I had the pizza yesterday, and it's like, oh, have the pizza now. But I'm like, I don't want the pizza now. I'll have the pizza some other time. I'll probably have it tomorrow. I'll probably have that for breakfast, cause I ate all the damn eggs. I have no eggs to make my usual breakfast with. How was that? Did you believe I was crying there? Because I wasn't, but I kind of coughed in the middle of laughing, and that's what it sounded like. Because, like, that was a genuine laugh from me, but it was just, like, weird. Because, like, usually my laugh is, like, what you just heard a second ago, rather than a few seconds ago. And, yeah, I don't know. This is all just to say, love food, man. 10 out of 10 for food. Shout out to food. You ever eat that stuff? It's pretty good. Yeah, but like, I also don't mind eating something healthier, like a nice salad, some salmon. I had some salmon the other day. Oh, man, I love me some salmon. And very fortunately for me, as I was eating it, I did find like 3 bones, but they were all easily identified and quickly taken out. So I didn't eat them, but like I was biting into the salmon. I had like a little piece, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And I just reach in, and I'm like, a bone. Good thing I got rid of that. But yeah, salmon's great. Highly recommend salmon to anybody and everybody. As I would recommend these delicious chicken tenders. What are they? Where are they from? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I can't remember. I just recognize them. I go, oh yeah, that's the good one. I don't even think about it. And I'm not gonna bother to go downstairs and check. Alright, I'm upstairs now. And as I said, I'm already drunk. Alright? But god damn, those chicken tenders were good. They hit so right. Oh, especially out of the air fryer. Oh, excelente. Like, I cannot express. Like, I love it so much. I'm fucking getting cringe. I'm saying the like single words I remember from taking like 2 classes of Spanish in high school. Delicioso. Yes, mi llamo, mi llama? Mi llamo, I don't know, it's one of those. Lorenzo. I think that was the Spanish name I chose. Oh, man. Actually, do you want to know a funny story about my Spanish class experience? I remember, like, I wasn't sure if, like, I had to attend the, like, the review thing. Because, like, my school, the way it worked was you had 4 classes, I think. But you had, like, shorter classes, but they were all, like, an hour and a half. So, like, one of the classes I had was Spanish. And when we got to exams, like, they would let you out, like, early, like, kind of like a half day, but maybe not really. I don't know. But you get out early, and I was like, I don't know. I think I'm maybe supposed to stay for the Spanish thing. And then I got there, and my teacher, who, no offense to her, like, she was fine, I had nothing against her. Talked about her novio a lot, which, again, nothing against that. It's something really great to do in class instead of, teaching Spanish. But, again, no, salty the earth, great teacher. But anyway, we had, like, these, like, optional worksheets that we could have used, or we could have done. And she was, like, talking about that, and she was like, all right, take that out. Let's go over and review it. And then, like, some people who were there hadn't done it, and she got, like, upset at that. And then I forget what she said. She was like, all right, if you don't even care, you don't even have to be here. And I was like, okay, great. And I got up and left. And then I went to my computer programming class where, like, I hadn't finished, like, the final assignment. And I was just like, hey, I went to go do my Spanish thing, but, like, I didn't have to do it. And he didn't have a class in that period or whatever, so he was just there alone, like, working on something. And I was just like, hey, can I work on I was like, mind if I hang out here? He's like, yeah, sure. You want to work on your final project? And he, like, essentially just told me how to program the thing. Like, he told me verbatim. He's like, here's how you do it. You just type that, and then you type this. And I'm like, oh, I would have made that way more complicated. You just made it really easy. And he's like, yep, all right. And I just got to do my final assignment by having my teacher just directly tell me what to type into I don't even remember what programming language it was. It was maybe like C sharp or something like that. It was like a pretty basic like programming language. So maybe it wasn't C sharp, but it was something. I don't know. It was fun. I like that class. I like that class because it taught me the basics of computer programming, which is something that had always eluded me because I'm not good with computers. I'm terrible with them. Hence why I make all my videos and do all my gaming on a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4. You know, it's just very convenient for me. I buy a thing, it sets me back, you know, the PlayStation $500. And, you know, that sucks. But it's like, hey, now I don't have to worry about it, except for when I do. And that sucks, but hey. Nothing's perfect. And speaking of things that aren't perfect, so I may have had a puff earlier. And like this this cartridge I got, it was kind of funny. Like I don't know. Okay, if you ever go to a vape shop, maybe don't do this unless, of course, you. Just don't vape. That's my advice. But yeah, no. Anyway, as I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted, when I I went to buy these, when I went to buy the cartridges, the guy behind the counter was like, "Oh, hey man, so like these, we've been kind of getting some problems with them where like people said they bought them and they didn't end up working. So you know, do you want to go ahead and test them?" And I was like, "Huh." And he seemed almost like a little insistent on it. And I think I'm fine, but you know what? Sure. And he hands me like a battery, and I screw one in. I do it. I take a very tiny hit because you know, let's just say I didn't drive myself there, but you know, I wanted to be aware going back home. You know, because I definitely wasn't driving. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And so yeah, I just took like a very light hit, and then he's like, "You want to try the other one? Because I bought two." And like they sent me back like $40 for like a 2 gram cartridge. So I'll take that. That's a bit of a deal where I come from. But yeah, so I go and do that one. And I take a hit, and I'm like, all right, that works fine too. But like the only thing was that like the airflow was blocked a little bit, so I just had to give it like a little suck. You know, sounds a bit crass, but if you have a cartridge and like it's not hitting, sometimes what you gotta do is just gotta suck real hard on it until it opens up the airflow again. And so I did that. I was like, okay, cool, it works. And then I got home, I screwed one in, and then it wouldn't hit. And I was like, God damn it. But evidently, as you just heard, I got it hitting again. And the other one I have, the second one, that one I screwed in and I was just like, oh, yep, it ready to go, boss. Hit me whenever you like. But this guy was like a struggle to get, but I finally got it. And I don't remember which is which. One of them is like an indica, one of them is like a hybrid. Of what? I don't know. I don't know what this substance I'm using is, and you don't either. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know. You can figure it out. It's a 3-letter acronym. It's yellow or green, depending on what form you see it in. But yeah, this stuff is strong. Like, I'm glad I took a light and easy breezy hit. Because, fun fact, my first time going into that vape shop, I already had a cartridge, but I didn't have a battery. Because I forget what had happened. Either I lost mine or like the one I had broken. And I was like, "Oh, hey man, do you have like a?" Because like I looked it up and I'm like, "Okay, I need a 510 battery," and then I was like, "Do you have any 510 batteries?" And he was like, What are you talking about?" Like he didn't know, and I was like, "Okay, I'm looking for something I can use with this." I just pulled out the cartridge, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got that." And he grabbed it and he handed it to me. And then he was like, go on, test it out. And I'm like, you, okay. And so again, I take a very baby hit. But that was my first ever interaction with that store. Like, I went in and I was like, oh, hey, do you have something for this? And he was like, yeah, I do. And I screwed it in. And then and he's like, oh, go on, make sure it works. And I'm like, okay, man. Like, you know what you're selling here. Although, I don't know, this might have been the time before, like, Delta 8 and Delta 10 and Delta 11 and all the other varieties that technically aren't Delta 9. And if you ask anyone other than, like, some purist moron, they do about the same thing. Like, anybody that tells you that, like, oh, dude, Delta 8, it just doesn't hit the same, man. That's not, like, real weed. And, like, here's the thing, too. If you do one form of, like, you know, weed, then you're gonna get used to that form. So if you switch to something else, you know, like, say if you, like, only, like, smoke weed from, like, a joint, and then all of a sudden you go from having, like, a dab, or say taking a gravity bong hit, like, that's gonna probably hit you differently than the joint that you've been smoking. And it's the same thing for like vaping THC, is that when you do that, after a while you get more used to it, and then if you do something else, that hits you much harder. But yeah, I don't know, just my experiences. I'm just sharing stuff with you. Is that cool? Is that all right? I don't know why. That's the drunk part of me. That's the drunk me getting aggressive, because nobody's ever been aggressive on weed, you know? Like, one thing I recommend, if you have, like, a buddy or a friend of yours that ends up getting high, and, like, you're not a high guy or gal or person or whatever you want to be, you know? Instead, you're sober-tober, all right? You're like, oh, yeah, I love being sober, never done a single weed in my whole entire life. And it's like, hey, good for you, pal. You're gonna make into the kingdom of heaven with that one for sure. And, you know, you can just, again, whatever your preference is. I'm not going to judge you either way, you know? I'm not here to peer pressure you. Don't do something if it doesn't make you feel comfortable or feel good. And, but yeah, one thing to do if you are sober and your friend is high is to just treat them like a bumbling idiot. Just really, like, talk down to them, because, like, they don't understand concepts anymore. You know, they're like a little baby going around not knowing what anything is, and they're different too. You're not like this normally. You're like different now. You're like more open and stuff, and you're like saying things you wouldn't maybe normally say. What? That's weird, you know? Like, you really want to hammer that point home. And then, like, in addition to that, you just want to, like, try to mess with them in any way you can. Like, start making, like, weird noises, or be like, oh, what was that, man? Dude, did you hear that? I think there's a cop siren. I think they're coming. Oh, man, they're going to arrest you. You're going to go to jail for life, bro. And, you know, again, whoever you're talking to, they're going to really enjoy that, you know? They're going to find it, like, so hilarious. They're going to be, like laughing up in stitches because of that. Guys, come on, seriously, enough. All right, I'm talking. I talk forever. I know I've been talking forever, and maybe you guys have said stuff and I just haven't noticed until now, but no, shut up. I have the speaking baton or whatever. I speak forever until I decide to hold my peace. Okay? Fuck you. I'll crash this wedding. Man. Sorry, I'm just reminded of, like, a scene in, like, a comic I was reading where, like, this couple was together, but then they, like, broke up. Specifically because, like, their parents wanted them to get married, and specifically married to a man. Because this person was a woman dating another woman. And then, it like, kind of happens pretty suddenly, and then, like, within, like, the next, like, 1 or 2 chapters, they're, like, at the wedding. And it's like, how much time has passed? Like, what? That was pretty fast, and also like crazy, and also crazy to like like, I don't know. I get maybe you would maybe invite exes to your wedding to your wedding if you're like if you're that sort of person who like is like, oh hey, I broke up with this person, but we can still stay friends. And like, I don't know what that's like, man, because I just like don't have friends, period. I also haven't dated anyone, so I don't know how I'm gonna be like, oh hey, even though we dated, we're you know, we're still friends. Like, no, that's never even happened. Step 1 hasn't even happened. To go on to step 2 and then have like step 3, which is actually like taking it back to like step 1.5 because you're breaking up with them, and then you're like, oh, but hey, we can still stay friends, and I'm gonna invite you to my wedding. It just seems like cruel, you know? But yeah, I was just thinking about that because I don't know. I was like, I'd say some shit. I'm a petty person. Like, you invite me to your wedding after you've broken up with me because, you know, your parents wanted you to marry, like, someone else? Fuck you. I'm, does anyone object? Yeah, I object. This person fucking sucks. This whole wedding sucks. I hate this fucking society. You all suck. Peace out. I drank the whole bar. You know? There's no more alcohol left. I had it all. It was mine. I broke into the liquor cabinet like you broke my fucking heart. Not that I know what that's like, because I don't have a heart, of course. But, you know, still, it's fun to imagine. Ooh. My, oh my. Wow. My fella, my boy, my man. He can't stop being hot. He can't, and he won't. And I'm proud of him for that. You know? Good for him. And good for me. I'm gonna like pause to see how long I've been going, and maybe like and maybe have this like be the end of this episode. The next episode, I'm gonna go get branded, baby. Woo! I loved inflicting bodily harm to myself. Woo, baby! Ain't that fun?